Yoga teaches us that actions have consequences. Our lifestyle for most of us involves a lot of sitting, whether it be driving or sitting at our desk at the computer. Our hips get very tight. So the actions of our daily life have consequences. We have tight hip flexors. Some cleanup is required to take care of this type of lifestyle. And that cleanup would be certain poses that we could do to enable us to get more freedom in the pelvis. Let's leave our seated position and come to standing at the front of the mat. As you stand tall at the top of the mat, root down from the pelvis to the earth. Extend your arms up and slightly back. Take your gaze back. Take your hands back. On the exhale breath, take your hands down to the floor or the blocks. Step your right leg back. Bring your back knee to the earth. Reach back to the back foot, or if you've got your block handy, take your block back so you have a little bit more elevation. Reach your left arm up and back. Release your hand down to the block. Step your back foot forward to place your hands at your low back and rise up. Inhale, take your arms up again. Reach your gaze up, reach your hands back. So you've got this nice fullness in the upper body. Exhale, bend your knees slightly so that you can easily take your left leg back. Bring your back knee down to the earth. Lift yourself up and reach your left hand back to find your heel or your block. Take your right arm up and back. Get this nice fullness as we start to open the chest. We open the front of the thigh. We get length to the front of the thigh. Inhale, lift yourself up. Lift your back knee up and step forward. Place your hands to your low back. Again, inhale. Take your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, bend your knees. Place your hands alongside your ankles to take your right leg back. This time, have your back knee down. Press your toenails firmly. If you've got your blocks, you can have them right under your shoulders. Lift your back knee up with your toenails down. Maybe you can even balance with your hands to the top of the thigh. As you inhale, you might even want to lift your arms up. Exhale, take your hands down. Take your back knee down. Tuck your toes under, step the back foot forward. Place the hands to your low back and rise up. Reach up to the sky. Reach back for this nice opening of the front side of the body. After sitting so much, it's such a refreshing way to open up. Release your hands down. Step your left leg back. Take your left knee to the floor. Point your left toes so that your toenails are now on the mat. As you press into the mat, lift your back knee up. Now, for some of us, keeping the hands to the blocks makes total sense. If you can balance yourself and take your arms up, go ahead. Release your hands down. Release your knee down. Tuck your back toes under and step forward. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. We've gotten a lot of length here on the front side of the body. We'll continue stretching the hip flexors by coming to all fours position. In all fours position, draw your right knee in toward your heart. reach your right leg straight back out. So we go from hip flexion, drawing the knee in, to reaching the right foot straight back. Third time, draw your knee in, reach it out, bend your knee. Now see if you can balance here. Take your left hand to your low back. See about reaching back. Maybe you can even hold onto your foot to open your chest really nicely. As your foot reaches back, you're opening your heart nicely. Release your foot down. Come either to child's pose or downward facing dog, just to balance yourself with your breath, finding some ease in the action here. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Come to your knees again. Reach your left leg straight back. Now draw the knee in. Extend out. Again, draw in to expand out. Draw in to reach out. Bend your knee. Take your right hand to your low back. See if you can just balance yourself here. Maybe you can even find your foot. Reach your foot back as you open the heart nicely. Just let the hand to the foot just help to open your shoulders nicely. Release your hand down. Come either to child's pose or downward facing dog again. And pause there. Allow your breath to be very full, to expand the back side of the body. In yoga, we discovered that the practice allows us to draw into our actions so fully. We start to realize that there are all these consequences to our actions. And sometimes there's a little cleanup required because of those actions. And so it is with our body. We have to do some maintenance. If we have a full day of sitting, whether it be full-on engagement, traveling, whatever it is. Now walk your feet up to your hands. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. In the same way that we were doing in all fours position, lift your right knee up as if you're drawing it in toward your chest. Now open and expand as you reach your leg back. Again, you draw in before expanding out. You draw in to expand out. A little balance pose, nice hip flexor action. Come to the opposite side as you root down through the right foot. Lift your knee in and expand out, just balancing yourself nicely. Hug in and expand out. Hug in. These actions that we do in yoga just allow us to find freedom here as we maintain a more balanced action in our body. We'll come once again to all fours position. I like using a strap, and if you've got one, grab one. And I also like a little padding for my knee when I'm in this pose. If you have a towel or a blanket available, grab that. Come to all fours position. I like these D-ring straps best. Thread the tongue of the strap between the D-rings and then back through so that you make a loop. And make this loop pretty small so that you can use this loop on your back foot. So as you hold on to this back foot, step your left foot forward, similar to what we did before. Now we've got just a little bit more uh, tension on it. As you hold on to the back foot, take both hands to the strap, draw your elbows in, and take your gaze up to the sky. If you don't have a strap, you can simply take yourself to a nice low lunge here. Now slowly lift your back foot up, and in the same way that we just did, take your arms over your head, pull your foot toward your pelvis as you walk your hands toward your foot. Just open your chest really nicely as you draw your pelvis down a little bit deeper in the pose. Release your foot down. Come back to all fours position. In all fours position, come back to trade sides. So you'll take your right foot forward, your strap with the loop in it. Take your strap around your left foot. And as you step your right foot forward, keep your back knee down. Draw yourself into a deep lunge. Take the arms over your head and walk your hands toward your foot. So you get this nice opening of the upper chest, nice stretch to the iliopsoas. Take your gaze up, drop a little bit lower in the pose. Now see about lifting your back foot up. As you lift the back foot up, stay balanced as you draw your pelvis down. Walk your hands toward your foot. Keep a nice opening there. And release your foot down. Come to all fours position. One of the teachings in yoga, the no do-overs, no take-back teaching, prompts us to go forward. In this practice, not an easy practice for most of us because we have such tightness in the hip flexors. We want to make a lot of adjustments. And as long as you come to some semblance of the form of the pose, you're in the pose. You haven't surrendered. You've gone forward. As you come to lie on your back, once again, a block is very useful for this. Bend your knees. Lift your pelvis up as if you're going into a bridge pose. So as you lift the pelvis high, you can stack 1 or 2 blocks underneath your pelvis. Draw your right leg in, so lots of hip flexion again. You can hold on to the knee. Reach your left leg out and lift it up. You want to go quite slow here so that the action of the pose helps achieve this nice length here in the front of the hip as you draw the leg down toward the mat. If you feel like that's a little bit too much for that area, then please back off. Lift your right leg up again so slowly and take it down. Lift your leg up. Keep the toes spread. With this toe spread, you get a nice tone in the upper inner thigh, the top of the thigh. Now release your foot down. Release your right foot down as well, and just pause here in a bridge pose with a nice openness to the chest, with the sacrum feeling very settled to the block. Draw your left thigh in. On this different side, you might feel like it's time to make some variations as you extend your right leg out. You feel a nice stretch through the top of the thigh there, the inner groin area, with your toes spread. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Slowly take it down toward the earth. Inhale, lift your foot up. Exhale with that nice engagement, reaching the heel, extending the leg. Inhale, lift up again. Exhale, draw down very slowly. And let's meet again in a bridge pose. So bend your knees. With your feet planted, lift your heart. Keep the heads of the arm bones drawing back. Now lift your pelvis up. And notice how you get a little clearance off the block. Remove the blocks, press your elbows firmly down. Now with all the stretches that we did to really open the hips so nicely, notice how easy and accessible this bridge pose is for you. Slowly take your pelvis down. Once your pelvis is on the earth, you can straighten your legs and enjoy a nice shavasana. Or if it's time for you to move on to the activities of the day, move slowly out of your position to honor your practice. In yoga, there are no do-overs, no take-backs. Our actions have consequences. Our lifestyle has consequences. Yoga provides us with many methods to maintain, to keep our body alert and strong through these actions. Namaste.